let's dive into the questions. This first person, Jaime, says, how deep should proposals go in describing how we will do the work?
Well, I would say first start with the page count in mind. Because when, if you're restricted, if it's certainly for a very technical proposal, if you're only allowed 20 pages, then obviously you're going to have to adjust your solution to those 20 pages. And unfortunately, what's happening a lot is government's trying to kind of increase the procurement lead times. So when you should maybe have 100 pages, they're only giving you 20. It's very frustrating to try to differentiate yourself with such a short amount of data. But nonetheless, I would answer, if you've done your capture management properly and you've done the business intelligence up front, you'll know exactly what the government is looking for. So with that differentiator in mind, now you've got the competitive advantage to kind of give them the best bang for the buck. And also, what you need to do is put in your win themes, which hopefully you've included in your executive summary, which is exactly why my solution is the best. So you have to answer the requirements. Again, you've got your compliance matrix to help you do that. But as far down as you go is based on what the requirement is and what you know that the government customer is looking for. And then you'll know exactly what level you need to stop so that innovation and best value really come out. And that's that process, but it really starts not only with knowing the requirement, but how many pages you have to respond. Because again, do not, if you have 20 pages, do not use that 20 pages for fluff and then say, go look at Appendix A and then put 150-page solution. That's unacceptable. And I see that often a lot. And not just with fly-by-night companies. I see this from like top 20 government contractors, and I just don't understand how they continue to do this. It irritates the government, and you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you answer the mail and you also follow instructions.
Good. You've mentioned capture management in the past and throughout your presentation. You've mentioned it just now too. This person wants to know if you can define how you would define capture management.
Well, capture management is really the entire process of selling to the government. There's a big difference between marketing and selling. Certainly, I don't want to get too deep in the woods in that, but capture management is really the process where you make the very first contact with that prospect all the way to actually submitting your proposal. That's the entire capture management process, and it continues. So really, the entire process of networking, of getting that solution in front of the customers, talking to the buyers, maybe even doing product demonstrations, basically showing them what you have. And as I mentioned, you want to get to the point where the government not only knows who you are, they know your solution, hopefully you're on the preferred vendors list, and hopefully they are excited that you're going to be bidding on this and they're looking forward to looking at your proposal and evaluating it. That's how you know you're doing the capture management process properly and successfully. So that entire process of the very first point of contact to actually submitting your RFP, that's all part of the capture management process.
Good. We're short on time, so probably have a couple more questions here. This person wants to know, should you write a separate executive summary for each volume? And by volume, they're saying technical management, pricing, and past performance.
The executive summary should be only one product that talks about your entire solution. So what you want to do, as I mentioned, 3 pages, 5 at most, is try to differentiate yourself by whatever sections are being called out. So you have a technical component, management component, past performance. What you want to do is try to set the table so that you're telling the government exactly what your win themes are, why they should pick you up front, and what they should expect. That way, when you say in your executive summary, oh, I'm going to be providing you this, we've got the best solution possible, this is why you should choose us, they're going to be seeing that through each volume. But the actual executive summary should be just one executive summary, normally done in the front matter, normally with tech management proposal, or section rather, depending on how the RFP is being broken out, but that's only going to be one product. You certainly can do an executive summary for each volume, but it's normally best practices to just do one and really set the table for the entire proposal.
Sure, and I think, as you've indicated, the government is very particular about how everything is structured, how everything is laid out. It's usually best to follow what it is that they, your audience ultimately wants to receive, and not to do things that differentiate too much from what it is that they're looking for.
Right, exactly. I'm sorry, if I can just add that real quick. Also, if no executive summary is required, then you may want to ask the question, hey, if we provide an executive summary, is that going to count against our page limit? you want to make sure that the answer is no, because the last thing that you want to do is, again, go over that page limit count if you do provide the executive summary when you're not really supposed to.
Exactly. Okay. And last question that we have is, how much should you play up innovation in your proposal versus just answering the requirements? Is this too risky to focus on new solutions to address the requirements?
Well, risk management is not just integrated in your proposal. Risk management is also integrated into your proposal response, because innovation means a better solution, which means your price goes up. So you have to kind of weigh the requirement versus what the government is looking for, because also you should have some good idea, hopefully, about budgets and what's going on with your particular prospect. But you always have to keep in mind that you want to try to avoid gold plating. But really, I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because the government keeps saying, I want innovation, but I also want the lowest price. So it's not an easy answer. But certainly it requires you what the government's really looking for, and hopefully that'll give you a good indication of how far you can go in regards to really innovative solutions, because again, what you're trying to do is offer best value, not low price, hopefully if it's a trade-off process. But unfortunately, price is such an important factor. You know, you may offer the very best solution, but at the end of the day, they can't afford you, and that's not what you want to do. So not a very easy answer. But what you have to really do is just measure the requirement against what you can kind of get away with in regards to the price, because innovation, of course, comes at a cost.
Exactly. Good. Well, I apologize. I know there are a lot of other questions, and so, Jimmy, I'm going to work with you and make sure that all those questions and the people who have asked those questions get those questions answered over the next few days. We are, again, as I said, recording this event. We're going to make this recording available hopefully by tomorrow, and send an email to everybody who's registered so you get that. Jimmy, really quick, last closing thoughts, and how can people get in touch with you if they need to get in touch with you directly?
Well, you can get in touch directly with me via my website, which is Seville Government Consulting, SEVILLE. Very active on the internet, certainly LinkedIn, GovLoop, Twitter is another one I'm very active on. Not hard to find. Also on my blog, The Acquisition Corner, you can find me there. But please reach out to me. We're more than happy to answer any questions that you have. My email address is jgracia, Gracia, at Seville, SEVILLE, GovCon.com.
Great. Thank you, Jimmy, again. Thank you, everyone who's attending. And this concludes today's presentation. Take care, everybody.